Good morning. Thank you for coming on the program. Well, what do you make of the report and how can low-middle-income countries break out of this quagmire?
Good morning, and thank you for having me. The monitor report by the ILO is a very interesting one, which already tells us things that are happening with low and middle income economy. But I think it is important to know that the region that is most hit is in the Latin Americas, where the COVID incident is quite high. That does not mean that part of Africa is not involved in this, but because what we are seeing within the market is, particularly in some parts of blue collar jobs, when we talk about those in the transport business, those that are in the hospitality, and even drivers, for instance, many of them are seeing low working hours, and as a result of that, their income has reduced. In the white collar section, we are seeing, particularly within Nigeria, we are seeing that teachers have become hardest hit because schools are closed, and so teachers have practically earned very little income within this time. And I think that report highlights significantly some ways in which Africa broadly lower income, middle income countries are affected by pandemic.
Speaking of working hour losses now, is that the picture of what the experience is in Nigeria?
Well, yeah, like I've described. Yes, we are seeing them in particular sectors, especially the hospitality. We have restaurants now and hotels who have had minimal businesses, and many of them have had to ask some people. Some of them have to go, and then in some businesses, there are some businesses that are not able to move their operations online. Many of those businesses have been affected by this wages.
Nepotism is a big issue in Nigeria, and it can be said that this is one of the many reasons that youths are not getting jobs in the country. But how can employer and government create equal opportunities for all?
Okay, so at this time, I think we are seeing a report by the National Bureau of Statistics, which suggests that unemployment has dropped from about 21% to 27%, and we have larger of people who are young people are unemployed, 40% to be specific. The focus for government, in this particular time, is to provide safety nets to help young people find jobs, and connecting them with emerging businesses that have come out as a result of COVID-19. Yes, COVID-19 has resulted in business losses, but at the same time, some new businesses and some new roles are already emerging. For instance, we have a spike in demand for customer care agents. We are having new roles as social media managers. There's a huge demand now within the digital space for software engineers, who can automate processes. There's also demand for digital marketing experts who involve social commerce. So there's a huge shift in terms of jobs that are emerging, and so it's important for us to pay attention to these emerging sectors, provide policies and incentives to help these businesses so that they can also create jobs for people.
Now, the sixth edition of the ILO Monitor also looks at the effectiveness of fiscal stimulus in alleviating labor market impact and recommends that in order for developing countries to reach the same ratio of stimulus to working hours lost as in high-income countries, they would actually need to inject a further $902 billion. How is it possible for the Nigerian government to realize this?
It's a huge task. That's almost a trillion dollars, and we have limited capacity to locate this kind of funding. So government cannot do it alone. Private sector has to come in, and so I think it's important for us to have dialogue at this time and having an integrated approach that brings together government, private sector, and development partners as well to find specific solutions, because we cannot. It's not a one-size solution. All of sectors, different sectors will need specific kinds of solutions. For instance, the creative sector perhaps is one of the hardest hit. We have entertainers, comedians, musicians who have had low business turn up in time. So the solutions that the creative sector will require will be quite different from the solutions that hospitality, the hospitality sector, or the agricultural sector, or the digital sector will need at the time. So dialogue to sectors will be something that will be very useful at bringing together government, private sector, and developers.
With employment and underemployment reaching an all-time high in Nigeria at over 40%, of course, due to the pandemic, we're seeing this jobs become an overcrowded marketplace with 18 to 35-year-olds mostly impacted. So how can young job seekers stand out this period?
So you just stand out within this period, by paying attention to the market. And some of that information is what we have been observing, in the last 9 months. We are seeing that, employers are now beginning to demand beyond technical skills, they're beginning to demand softer skills, critical thinking, creativity, innovativeness, communication skills. And, that's part of the services that we are providing for free at this time, helping young people develop these skills, because that is what opened the doors into the job market for them at this particular. Another thing is, that we are trying to help give visibility to some of those young people that we are training, and as well making available job listings at the same time.
Research evaluation consultant policy analyst for Job Nigeria, Femi Balogun, thank you for sharing your thoughts on the program.